Community organizer Mahamadi Kodrago is mobilizing volunteers to clean up dirt and rubbish in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso. Funded by donations and using social media to spread this message, Mahamadi says he and his team plan to expand the initiative across Burkina Faso to better promote hygiene and a cleaner environment. How exactly are they doing this? Our next story has the answer.
On a vu des déchets durs, solides, que les gens venaient déverser. C'était pas agréable à voir. Et à côté, vous avez un barrage qui est là, il y a une retenue d'eau. Et nous savons que l'eau est très importante dans la vie de tout un chacun. Donc on s'est dit comment agir pour permettre effectivement à cet endroit d'être agréable à voir et que les citoyens se rendent compte qu'on a tous intérêt à travailler pour que la ville de Ouagadougou soit propre. Alors nos actions citoyennes, il y a différentes étapes. La première étape, c'est identifier le site. Et là, c'est dans nos promenades, voilà, nous-mêmes on constate, ou du moins les gens aussi font des relais sur les réseaux sociaux, nous on voit ça et on essaie de capter. Donc c'est l'identification du site. Après on discute entre nous, les membres de l'association, pour arrêter une date. Et dès que la date est connue, le reste c'est la communication qui se met en place avec les affiches que nous produisons et tout ce que nous publions sur les réseaux sociaux pour susciter l'adhésion.
Parce que quand vous regardez notre ville et qu'il y a des ordures partout, il y a des saletés partout et quelqu'un lance un appel à ce qu'on soit ensemble afin de rendre cette ville propre, il n'y a rien de tel que d'être parmi ces personnes de bien, ces personnes qui appellent au bien. Donc voilà ce qui nous a motivés à être dans cette association.
Voilà, mais je pense que c'est une bonne chose, voilà, qu'ils aient initié ce travail-là. Quand on passait, il y avait tout le temps des odeurs, il y avait toutes sortes d'ordures ici, on avait même du mal à respirer.
L'impact est très positif parce que grâce à ce qu'on fait, on a vu des jeunes prendre le relais dans leur quartier.
Burkina Faso witnessed an extraordinary moment when tens of thousands of citizens mobilized in a single week to clean streets, clear drainage systems, restore public spaces, and reclaim neighborhoods that had long suffered from neglect. What unfolded was not a government decree or a donor-funded campaign. It was a mass civic response driven by community pride, urgency, and a shared belief that change does not always have to wait for permission or money from outside. Across Ouagadougou, Bobo-Dioulasso, and dozens of towns and rural communities, volunteers poured into the streets with brooms, shovels, wheelbarrows, and bare hands. Markets that had accumulated years of waste were cleared. Roadside gutters clogged with plastic and sand were reopened. Public squares, schools, and clinics saw rapid transformations. In some areas, piles of trash that had been considered permanent features disappeared in days. What made the movement remarkable was its speed. Within 1 week, the visible difference was undeniable. Streets once flooded during rainfall began to drain properly. Mosquito breeding areas were reduced. Neighborhoods reported fewer odors and improved sanitation. For many residents, the cleanup was the first time they had seen their communities look orderly and cared for in years. The mobilization was largely organic. Local leaders, youth groups, women's associations, and neighborhood committees coordinated through word of mouth and social media. Messaging emphasized ownership rather than blame. The focus was not on criticizing authorities but on reclaiming dignity. Participants repeatedly expressed the same idea. This is our home, and if we do not protect it, no one else will. The scale of participation stunned observers. Markets closed early so traders could join. Motorbike taxis paused operations to help clear debris. School children worked alongside elders. Religious groups organized teams after prayers. Even Burkinabès in the diaspora amplified the effort online, sharing images that quickly spread across Africa and beyond. The movement resonated because it tapped into deeper national emotions. Burkina Faso has endured years of security challenges, economic pressure, and political uncertainty. Many citizens feel their country has been defined internationally by crisis rather than resilience. The cleanup became a counter-narrative. It showed discipline, unity, and collective action at a time when pessimism had become common. Environmental health experts noted the practical benefits. Improved waste management reduces waterborne disease, malaria risk, and flooding damage. Cleaner public spaces improve mental well-being and encourage commerce. Small businesses reported increased foot traffic as markets became more accessible. Transport routes cleared of debris reduced travel time and vehicle damage. What truly caught global attention was the absence of foreign funding. No international logos, no donor banners, no aid agencies directing operations. This was self-organization at scale. In an era where African development stories are often framed through dependency, Burkina Faso offered a different image. Citizens acting first, institutions responding later. Local authorities eventually provided logistical support, including waste collection trucks and disposal sites, but the momentum remained citizen-led. Officials praised the initiative, acknowledging that it revealed both the capacity and the expectations of the population. The message was clear. People are ready to participate if they feel respected and included. The cleanup also carried symbolic weight. For years, waste accumulation had represented more than sanitation problems. It symbolized neglect, broken systems, and a sense of abandonment. Removing it became an act of psychological renewal. People spoke of breathing again and seeing our city properly for the first time. Social cohesion strengthened visibly. Neighborhoods that rarely interacted worked side by side. Youth who felt marginalized found purpose. Elders shared techniques for organizing labor efficiently. The experience rebuilt trust at the community level, which many see as essential for long-term stability. International reactions followed quickly. Images of mass participation circulated widely, challenging stereotypes of African urban management. Commentators contrasted the speed and discipline of the cleanup with slower, more bureaucratic approaches seen elsewhere. Some framed it as a lesson in civic responsibility that wealthier nations could learn from. The movement also sparked debate within Burkina Faso about sustainability. Participants asked what comes next. Weekly cleanups, permanent waste systems. Environmental education, the one-week achievement raised expectations. Citizens now want systems that prevent waste buildup from returning. Environmental advocates emphasized that the cleanup was not a substitute for infrastructure investment, but it demonstrated readiness. With proper waste collection, recycling, and urban planning, the gains could be locked in. The population had proven willingness to participate. Institutions would need to match that commitment. Economists observed subtle but important signals. Clean environments attract investment. They reduce healthcare costs and improve productivity. Even small improvements in sanitation can yield outsized economic benefits. For a country seeking to strengthen its internal resilience, the cleanup was not just symbolic, it was economically rational. The role of youth was especially notable. Young Burkinabès dominated participation, turning what could have been a one-off event into a cultural statement. Many described it as reclaiming the narrative of their generation, often portrayed as restless or disengaged. Instead, they demonstrated discipline, coordination, and civic pride. Women played a central role as well, particularly in organizing neighborhood teams and managing logistics. Their leadership ensured efficiency and continuity. In many areas, women's groups set schedules, allocated tasks, and maintained standards. Security analysts noted an indirect benefit. Clean, organized communities are harder for criminal activity to hide within. Improved lighting, cleared pathways, and community presence can enhance local safety. While the cleanup was not a security operation, it contributed to social order. The emotional impact was perhaps the most powerful outcome. Pride replaced frustration. Hope replaced resignation. The sight of thousands working together altered how people viewed their own capacity. It suggested that solutions could begin locally, even amid national challenges. As the week concluded, many participants refused to stop. Smaller cleanup teams continued in subsequent days. Schools incorporated environmental responsibility into lessons. Neighborhoods established rotating maintenance schedules. What started as a week became a mindset. The global significance lies in what Burkina Faso demonstrated. Development is not only about budgets and institutions, it is also about social will. When that will is activated, change can happen faster than expected. Burkinabè citizens did not wait for perfect conditions. They acted with what they had. That decision altered how their country looked, felt, and was perceived. In 1 week, they reminded themselves and the world that dignity can be reclaimed collectively. The cleanup may be remembered not just for the trash removed, but for the belief restored. A belief that progress is possible, that unity matters, and that ordinary people still hold extraordinary power when they move together.